Good morning. Welcome to New Thought Tuesdays. It's Rich Smith and Dean Regan. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning, Rich. Good afternoon if you're here on the East Coast. And you know, New Thought Tuesdays, we're all about creatives. So today we're focused on grips. Are you below the line and feeling lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut about your career? Pardon the Beverly Hillbillies reference there. Welcome to New Thought Tuesdays. Rich and I today are going to talk about this sense of how to get your thinking out of the gutter and more into the grace.
Yeah.
We're going to show you how to change your perspective and to raise your thought out of that gutter. We'll help you identify a way to resolve, to see the authentic, not just pretend it's good, but the authentic good that's in everything. And even when people around you are living their lives like they're out of a movie like The Godfather, like there's all drama and there's all kinds of dramatic music in their lives, and just how you can be in grace. We're going to also explore how you can see that whatever evil is around you in the form of lack or fear or pain or uncertainty, whenever that comes your way, you can replace it with authentic joy, abundance, and creativity. Yeah. So here we are today. Hey, Rich.
Hi, good morning. You know, in my infinite filmmaker teachings, one of my principles is that there are no villains in your movie called life. That these people that are competition, there is no competition. There's plenty out there. These directors that are really hard on you, only if you allow them to be hard on you, if you allow that to affect your performance. So there are no demons. You can work through any of the things that are going on in your life that not working the way you want them to work. And so I had to put that plug in there for my infinite filmmaker book.
Well, absolutely. That's what we're all about. That's what the infinite filmmaker is about. That's what living in concert with life is about. We're here to help you focus on the good that is going on in your life and to reinterpret the signals that are coming at you in ways that show possibility and opportunity. And for those of us in the entertainment industry, these are valuable tools because there's all kinds of, we're in the entertainment industry. We produce stories. We produce horror stories, and we produce romantic comedies, and we produce all of these. And that's just the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. There's all kinds of drama that we can produce because we're so involved in the challenge and what we want to get and what we want to achieve and the mountains that we're trying to climb. And while we're trying to climb these mountains, that's great, climbing mountains, being creative, it's what we're here for. But today, we're here to talk about resolving to see only the good.
Yeah.
Only the good.
Yeah. And the more you focus on the good, the more you'll have of it come into your life. Life is a reciprocal universe. Reflects back to you what you put out to it. And if you're focusing on the good, you're going to get the good. If you're focusing on, well, you corrected me today, Dean, when I said something and you said, well, let's change that around and let's look at it in a positive light.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's good to have community. That's why we're here building this community to catch each other. When we start thinking negatively and fear and doubt and worry come in, we support each other, we lift each other up. And so thank you for doing that today, Dean.
Absolutely.
Normally I say, hey.
See, that's kind of what we've got. What our partnership, our business partnership, if you will, is kind of more like a prayer partnership. We're there for each other. We are our own community. Rich provides it for me. I provide it for him. So we're constantly working with the infinite filmmaker ideas and the living in concert with life ideas to bring them to New Thought Tuesdays. And that idea that we're bringing today is to really focus on the good that is present. And so sometimes when you're, I get it. We get it. It can be difficult. Sometimes it can feel like you're lying to yourself. But in every situation, there is a choice. You can decide to stay part of that situation or not be part of that situation. If the overarching decision you're making is to be in the environment that you're in, for whatever reason, that's your choice and your ability. You don't have to do what you're doing. You're choosing to do what you're doing. You're choosing to say and do and be who you are. So what we're encouraging is for all of us, our super seekers, that's what we call this whole community at New Thought Tuesdays, to take more of a noble approach, an even more noble approach, and focus on that which is true and great, and take part in that good. So this point of view not only makes the present moment more enjoyable and fun and rich, but it also brings an energy to you that brings more enjoyment, more productivity, more of the wanted adventures that you want in your life. And I just got off with a client, and this client is just, it is so uplifting to see these ideas really take shape, and people letting go of their pasts and embracing their pasts in a way that served them, and seeing the nobility in the choices, not only that they've made, but that their family has made, even when you didn't see it as noble or great or true. So it's how we shift these ideas. And that's what we'll talk about when we're in with the group after this New Thought Tuesdays discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we base New Thought Tuesdays on Ernest Holmes' work from The Science of Mind. Did you want to read what we have today?
Absolutely. Sure. The topic is, Dr. Holmes says, today I am resolved to see only the good. That's what his topic is. And he writes, we all wish to be brought out of darkness into the light, to be free from the bondage of fear, superstition, and want. The mind must be riveted on freedom. So to be free of the bondage of fear, superstition, and want, the mind must be riveted on freedom. The thought must rise, transcendent over bondage. And if we do this, Dr. Holmes writes, then we are brought from the shadow of darkness into the light of glorious freedom of good. But what is spiritual enlightenment other than an increasing capacity to consciously become aware of the divine presence of peace and joy and harmony? If we are to know the truth that makes us free, we must first recognize the essential non-reality of evil as being a thing within itself. We must equally know that the essential absolute reality of good, not only the supreme benefice, but as the absolute power. So I got kind of caught up in some of the vocabulary there. What he's saying here, we have to equally know the reality of good, not as just the supreme beneficial, but as absolute power, that the good in the moment is the absolute power. So that's the first. What do you think of that, Rich?
You talk about the absolute power. There's one power, one presence, one life. We're all part of that power and that presence. We use it every time we think a thought, we create out of it. And so as Ernest Holmes talks about in his writing, is that we can use that power and presence to create bondage, or we can use it to create freedom. It's up to us. It's the same power, the same presence. It doesn't choose, oh, I'm going to withhold this from them because it's not good for them. He gives us the freedom of choice. And he doesn't say, I'm going to give them more of this because I favor this person over another person. It's just a power and a presence that you can use to create the life you desire to be living. And I just get so passionate about this. So do you want to use it for bondage, or do you want to use it for freedom?
Right.
And so I choose freedom, to be able to think thoughts and focus on things that are of my highest good, that I want for not only for myself, but for everybody around me. Because when I lift myself up, I lift everybody else up around me. And so, yeah, I love this.
That's partially the value of being a member of the New Thought Tuesdays community, is to be with people who are there to discuss how these principles unfold in their lives and how they've achieved that feeling and that success of goodness. That's what our community is all about. And we come at it from entertainment professionals, professionals in the entertainment industry, because there's so many of us that are out there being very creative. And that's what our community, that's what Rich and I are here to support in New Thought Tuesdays. So when we go into discussion, we'll get more into that. But since for those of you who are watching live with us now, or those that are watching later on social media, we're committed to this ability to be resolved, to see only the good from an authentic standpoint, from an authentic, not looking at the facts, as you will, and denying them as facts, but denying their real power over us.
Yeah. Being authentic. When I talk about, I just want to be authentic. And to me, authenticity comes from the fact that I am a spiritual being living a physical experience. And by far, the greater part of me is spiritual. So by being authentic, it's being authentic to that spiritual nature of who I am, that divine that I am, that creativity that I am, because the creativity that I have as a filmmaker and a coach comes from within. It's this creative muse, if you want to call it that, the muse within me that wants to express itself. It's the divine within me that wants to express itself. It's the love intelligence within me that wants to express itself. And so that expression is my authenticity. That's my authentic self. This other self that lives in fear, doubt, and worry, that's not authentic. It's not who I am as a spiritual being living a physical experience. And so I love that authenticity, being authentic with yourself. And that's what we're here to do, is to bring out your authenticity. Who are you as a spiritual being living a physical experience? How can you use this energy to be able to become all that you were meant to become in this movie called life, as I call it? So how do you tap into that? You come to New Thought Tuesdays, work with us, and join us today too, after the show.
Today I'm tapping into it by petting Thaddeus. Thaddeus decided he wanted to be part of our time together today. We're attracting all kinds of energy. Mom has come into the room, as a matter of fact. Hi, Mom. I'm on New Thought Tuesdays with Rich, so I'll be right with you. So anyway, so just before we go into conversation, let's finish off with what Dr. Holmes was saying.
Yeah.
He says, therefore, today I am resolved to see only the good, and whatever evil in the form of lack, fear, or pain, or uncertainty presents itself, I shall endeavor instantly to recognize its native nothingness, to know that it is entirely relative. I shall make every effort to see through this limitation to that which is boundless and free. I shall proclaim the glad tidings of the freedom of the kingdom of good in my experience and in the experience of everyone I contact.
Awesome.
There's an affirmation for you. There's an affirmation for you.
Yeah. There you go. Copy that down, paste it in your mind.
And actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in the chat so everybody here can see it. And you'll also see there's a little bit of a commentary that I'm putting in that. So I'll put that in as well. Shall we go into discussion, Mr.
Yep.
Rich? All right.
Yep. So we're gonna end the New Thought Tuesdays today.
The broadcast, at least, we're going
Broadcast.
into our session. So if you guys are watching us on social media, come see us next Tuesday. Go to www.newthoughttuesdays.com to get a special invitation, and you'll get the link and be able to come into the room and discuss this. And also be a part of the demonstrations that people have been having, the what we like to call miracles of how using these principles and taking this point of view really translates into physical experiences in your world.
Yeah. So change your thinking, change your thoughts, change your life.
Change your thinking, change your
the world.
life, change the world.
Change the world. Yeah. That's what we're here for. Okay. So we'll see you later. Bye.